I only had two people come through, and one of them was in and out in like 1 minute. And I mean, I had 8 signs out. I thought I hit the major cutoff, but I just didn't have any people show up.
Okay, well, sometimes that's going to happen no matter how much you do or how little you do. Sometimes you'll forget to do the advertising, you'll have 10 or 15 people come through. Sometimes you'll do some advertising, you'll have two or three come through. It really is depending upon who's interested, who's out, on those different factors. But overall, for advertising, it all starts with putting together a door knocking flyer, get the neighborhood out there first, either by door or by mail. If you have enough time to do so, that's where you start. Then you do a video preview tour. So go out there and video yourself walking through the property, and then put that video on the social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, others that you may have. This is just not going to, somebody's not going to necessarily see it and go, oh my gosh, I got to go out there for this house. Okay. Um, so that's typically some of the processes that you'll see occur. The other is you can naturally, and first and foremost, if you're not the listing broker, have them post it in the MLS. Then that will be syndicated and shared through all the proper search engines such as Zillow, Redfin, and other popular places where the general public goes to shop. In the MLS, it's also advertised. You can search specifically for open houses. Then those sponsored ads, Facebook, if you want to target a specific area or demographic, you can sponsor an ad. You can do take a picture of you in front of the house, and then create a creative Canva. That is a picture software that I would recommend. Get a free account at canva.com, and then create some really nice still images of you at the open house with the open house time, address, blah, 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 and invite them out for that. There is a whole host of things you can do. Obviously, signs, balloons, directional arrows, uh, co host it with a lender and have them participate in all of the activities that we just talked about. And then set yourself up. Always, naturally get there at least 45 minutes ahead of time so you can, have the house prepared, and you are ready to go and greet at the first minute that door opens. That doesn't necessarily have anything to do with marketing. That's about getting the house prepared. But essentially, if you do all of those things and still no one shows up, you just had a slow weekend.
Slow weekend.
There you go. Yeah. It's not one thing, oh, I don't have anybody because I didn't door knock. Oh, I didn't have anybody because I didn't do a video. Oh, I didn't have anybody because I had 3 signs. You know, maybe one of those could have been a contributing factor. But if you want to be successful in open houses, you don't want to leave any of those stones unturned every week, and just have your process, have a checklist. Did I do a preview? Did I do a video? Check. Did I print out flyers and go door knocking? Check. Or did you mail? Check. Just have a little checklist of to do items. Um, it's not rocket science. Okay, you don't need us to help you figure that out. Um, yeah, we can, but I mean, my gosh, it's pretty common sense what you need to do to market for an open house. There is a plethora of information outside of this. If you go to one.u, if you just Google how to advertise open houses on YouTube, you'll get a whole bunch of information there as well. Find out what works for you, create a checklist, and then before takeoff, check the list. You're, if you're going to go from here to visit Mr. Coach Jim, you're going to get on that airplane, and that pilot and co-pilot are going to have a checklist of things they do. So perhaps if you like a list and you can't memorize all the stuff or put it in an order, just have a checklist. Keep it real simple. Try not to overcomplicate things. Overcomplicated things have a tendency of not being done. I hope that helped. Good morning, Jermaine.
I would add, I personally am a big
Good
believer in
morning.
putting on a balloon on your open house signs just to draw attention to your signage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've got the flags, the 3 flags.
Perfect.
That'll work too.
Absolutely.
Express Homes, they're a subset of DR Horton, kind of their entry level value home. Puts like a 30-foot green balloon, single balloon on one of their signs, and as part of their directions, they just say look for the green balloon, and so it's just one single balloon really high above everything else.
Look for the golden orca.
I like it.
Awesome. Jermaine, you got are you going to be at bat this weekend? You're going to be making some phone calls, doing some follow-up. What can we help you work on today?
I will be making phone calls, and I am finishing my last 30 hours for CE, continuing education.
Okay. So let me hear some of your phone scripts.
Sure. Ring ring.
Hello. Good morning.
Hey Todd, this is Jermaine Hart. Wrong script. I don't know your name. Cold call. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, this is Jermaine with Realty One Group Orca. I was calling for Todd Fallman.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, great. How you doing, Todd? I was calling because I'm a real estate agent in that neighborhood, and I had some fantastic information about the homes in your area.
Oh yeah, we're not thinking of selling, Jermaine. We're really happy where we're at.
Oh no, that's actually perfect. Well, I was calling just to see if you had a good idea of what your home was worth, and I also work with a lender if you were interested in a cash out refinance. A lot of people were able to put over 100 grand in their pocket recently.
No, we're getting pretty close. I've got about 12 more years to pay off this mortgage, so I think we are going to be here for the long term, and they're more than likely going to roll me out of here at this house feet first.
That's what we're hearing from a lot of people. A lot of people in this market have really gotten to a position where they're happy with their home and they want to live there forever. So that's awesome that you found a really good place. But I'll tell you what, I know you're not looking to do anything today or tomorrow or even next week, but it sounds like you've been in that neighborhood a while, and I'd like to just keep you updated on property values and what your home's worth. Would it be okay if we kept in contact that way?
Certainly, yes.
Okay, great. What's a good email address for you, Todd?
XYZ Gmail.
Awesome. So I'm going to send you your first property report. It's just going to be a little bit of information about your home. And if any of your neighbors or anyone's looking to sell, let them know you know a great professional real estate agent named Jermaine. And I'll probably call you about once every 3 months just to give you another update and say hello.
Okay, and I will tell you every 3 months that I'm still not moving. So that's fine. That's fair.
I won't ask you every 3 months. I'll just give you your property information.
I'm sure you will. That's okay.
Well, thanks for taking my call. I hope you have a great day, Todd.
You bet. Okay, a couple things come to my mind. Did anyone else? Okay, let's first start out. What did you like about Jermaine's presentation? Douglas, Werner.
Sorry. No, we both started.
Go ahead, Werner. You start.
Okay, I like the most how he didn't give up and he continued and with a positive attitude tried to keep you in a thinking mode about real estate and maybe the future, etc. And even he had an alternative about refinancing.
Awesome.
Which is a
great,
a good idea, I think.
Awesome, Douglas. What did you note regarding Jermaine's over the phone presentation?
Just not accepted no as an answer and continuing the conversation. Friendly and circling back. And asking for the email. I mean, that's
good. Yes, that was excellent. Coach Jim, what did you pick up from his?
I liked how he was in sync with you in regards to you would give a pushback, he would follow up, yeah, many people are this, and then he would switch it up and go a different direction.
Yeah, I tried to poke him a couple times. Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care if he's he brushed it aside. Bah, bah.
That's what you got to do. Just
Yeah,
go on to the
I was
next.
trying to be a fly at his picnic, and he just bah, bah. Okay. What I picked out is that he knew his scripts. He knew what to say, and he was well rehearsed, which sounded natural. Okay, Werner, where do you think that Jermaine could have improved?
Maybe at the end a little bit more consistent and say, okay, but anyway, I would like to have an appointment with you and show you some interesting news or something like that. But
Okay.
I think it was perfect anyway. But if
Yeah.
you just need to add something, yes.
Yeah, I don't think that would have happened in this scenario, but yeah, okay. You know, that might have been something.
To me, it sounded
Douglas,
pretty perfect.
where do you think there'd be any room for improvement for Jermaine?
That's a good question. He was circling back, making friends, asking for the email.
Okay. We've already went what he did well at.
Yeah.
Do you have any areas of suggestion for his improvement?
No.
Okay, that's fair. Coach Jim, any areas of improvement for Jermaine?
I guess my only one question would be, is the introduction aspect. Everything else was freaking smooth. Because when you're doing calls, I mean, is it generally, especially when I'm doing a cold call off a GeoLead, what is the percentage that's the homeowner, that's the phone number per se? You know, if I reach out,
I will say that part also doesn't matter because my last closing from a GeoLead was a wrong number.
Yeah,
boom. Okay.
it doesn't.
That's what I'm touching on.
So
and that's why I just say like hey, this is Jermaine Hargrove with Realty One Group. I was calling for Todd. Oh, you got the wrong number. Hey, no problem. Do you live in the Marysville area? Yeah. Well, I was calling about this address. Have you ever lived there? Do you know anyone? Oh, I owned that 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Well, I'm a real estate agent. Go back into your script.
Perfect. Yep. Exactly. Where I think that Jermaine could have been improved, a little bit of improvement out there, is looking outside of the this scenario's outlook and seek for investment opportunities within or without in that area. Maybe asking, do you own any additional rental properties, or would you be interested in investing in rental properties, or do you know anybody that could be? That would be my only area of suggestion. Otherwise, that was about 97% perfect.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. That was great.
Thank you.
You know, Jermaine, I didn't mean to put you on the hot seat, but these calls are for growth. And I know it's uncomfortable for us to, you know, pick each other apart like that, but that's how we grow. So I'll go next on the hot seat. And I want to call Jim. Jim, could you be a, oh God, here it goes. Okay, I got to subject myself to this too. So Jim, after we go through this, now remember the rules, okay? Poke, but then give me the appointment, because we want to practice success. Like I practiced success with Jermaine, I gave him the email, okay? I didn't make it easy, but he got something from me. So at the end, you know, poke, but then let me win, please. Okay.
Please.
Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello. I'm looking for Jim.
Yeah, this is Jim.
Yep, Jim, Todd Fallman, Realty One Group Orca. and I was calling about your home that I saw for sale by owner in Linwood for $799. Have you sold the property?
You're like the 500th call that I've gotten over this. Does anybody not just bring a buyer?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I am not them. And it's really hard for me to answer that question for you. It would be nice for someone to bring you a buyer simply by you stating that. I understand that it sounds like your property is still for sale. Is that correct, Jim?
It is.
Okay, terrific. I think you and I both have the same, a very common interest in this phone call. Can I explain?
Yeah, I guess you got my curiosity. What's
Well,
our?
well, you and I are colleagues. You and I are working together. We're both in the real estate industry now. You're selling your home. I'm in the industry to find and broker deals and get paid for it. You're in the business to broker a deal, and so you can get paid for it without having to pay a bunch of commission. And so it sounds like, based upon this, if we can move forward and figure out if there's something I can do to help you succeed in that together, then we can both get what we want out of it. Is you can get all the money and your home sold, and then I can pick up a little bit of income from my business, and then have a satisfied customer for the rest of their life. And by the looks of your listing online that I saw on Zillow, absolutely gorgeous, Jim. Did you do that staging yourself, or did you have a professional?
It's my wife. She has that touch.
Well, I need to hire her for my next house. Okay. So, are you offering a commission, Jim?
For a buyer's commission, yes.
Okay, great. How much?
2%.
That's not bad. That's not bad. So, if I sold your home, like for $805,000, could I get the 2% in addition to the 805? In addition to that 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, what are you doing this week and Saturday around 2:00?
I'm having an open house this weekend.
What time?
Between noon and 3, both
Perfect.
Saturday and Sunday.
Excellent, Jim. Excellent. I will see you Saturday. I'll stop by. I'll introduce myself.
Okay,
Check out
I
your
look
house.
forward to it.
All right, Jim. Take care, bud.
You too.
That's all I want to do right now.
You don't want to pull for email or?
I'm going to get there, and I'm going to wear you down. Here we are, Thursday. Yeah, so I'm going to show up before your open house. Honestly.
So when you show up, what do you bring with you?
Business card.
You don't have kind of a rough CMA or a listing agreement or? Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
I used to bring out some packets and some information. I'll take a picture of the outside of the house. And the reason I want to take a picture of the outside of the house is because I'm going to put together a CMA and then send it to them with the picture that I took.
Oh, after
then,
you visit.
When I pull up in front of the house, I want to take a picture of the outside of the house.
Right.
And yeah, so after my visit, I have the picture of the outside of the house, and I can put that as the cover.
Gotcha.
And so I'm just going to go in there, and I'm going to assess this. I'm going to assess my goal. I always have my outcome is to, going back, if it wasn't going to be an open house, if you weren't having an open house, I would go in a different direction. And so that would be a different conversation. Hey, I'm having an open house. I've got you qualified. The house is for sale. You're offering a commission. And you've also said that if it sells above that amount, I get to keep it. So you are about 70% listed and you don't even know it yet.
So that kind of brings me up to a good question. So if he's selling it for like say 800 and yeah, I guess I'm kind of scratching my head how that would be when you say that if I sold it for more, he allows me to keep it. So you're still having a listing agreement, aren't you?
Okay. What I'm doing is I'm qualifying whether or not if I sold it above the $800,000 mark, would he allow me to keep that extra amount?
Gotcha. Okay.
Which means if I get there and I see the house and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's even better in person, Jim. Um, if this house doesn't sell, I want to show you something next week. And I don't want to get too far in front of my skis, but I believe that at the end of the day, the only reason you haven't hired an agent is because you have a net bottom line that you want to walk away with. Is that correct? Yes. And you built and you baked into that cake that 2%, correct? Yes. So if I sell it for 805, like we mentioned on the phone, not only would I get the 2%, I'd be able to keep that other 5, right?
Yes.
Because it's not going to affect your bottom line. So let me go back and work something up, sharpen my pencil, and I'll come back. And if it works, then we'll talk. If it's not going to work, then I just was able to see a beautiful house and an opportunity to make 2%.
I like it.
What if that 800 is like 100,000 over? I mean,
well, then you don't do it, Doug. You don't do nothing with it.
Okay, because I'm just the for sale by owners that are on my list. When I look them up and I start looking at comparative properties.
Okay, Doug, hold on. Way too much analysis before you even do anything.
Overthinking.
Way too much analysis. Oh, I'm going to think and I'm going to do, and I'm not jumping on you. Well, maybe I am.
It's okay.
But way too much analysis. Just get in the field and meet these people. For sale by owners, you may find that there could be something about their property that's not in the tax records, that's not in a previous listing that could warrant that. I don't know. Perhaps they are overpriced. Who knows? But I'm not going to spend, I don't spend, rarely will I spend any time doing any work on that. I just want to get out there and have an opportunity to warm them up with me, let them know I don't have fangs, that I'm not out to get their commission. I'm out there to serve. And what I'm going to do in this situation, because that was such a fast call with Jim, I'm going to get out there and introduce myself. Wow, what are you replacing this home with? What a beautiful home. Why would you thinking about ever selling it? And this is one of the takeaways. Let's go back into role play. So, Jim, great looking house.
Thank you.
My gosh. I hope you don't mind me asking, but why in the heck are you selling such a beautiful home? Why not keep it?
Going down where the sun is, baby.
You're going down with us. Well, there's sun here 3 or 4 months a year, and you're selling a beautiful house. Okay, so if you're moving down there, why not keep this asset? Why not just rent it out and keep it? You don't have to sell it.
It's just one of those deals where I don't want the drama, and I just want to wash my hands of it, just be done with it.
I mean, seriously. I mean, you've seen what your home has been doing for the last 3 years in terms of appreciation. Why not just, shoot, if somebody gets in there and messes it up and it takes $15,000 to repair it, God forbid, but you're still going to get another $80,000 of appreciation by keeping it. You should keep the property, Jim, instead of doing all this hassle.
Yeah, it's one of those deals where you see all that stuff on TV, and I just don't want the drama.
So you're hell bent on selling it. It sounds like.
I'm going to sell it.
Yeah.
So what do you think of it? Well, you've toured it, and
I'm just going to go back out. So that's how I push back into the for sale by owner. I try to talk them into keeping it as a rental.
Oh.
And the more I keep talking them into keeping it, and they should keep it as an asset and keep it as a rental, you should do this as a rental, the more they express hey, no, dude, I told you I want to sell it. I'm serious about selling it. And then
hold on, let me look it up for you. 1 second.
Then I'm like, okay, this person is real.
I will say, I think like Doug in regards to if it's overpriced, but you convinced me, get out of that. Just get over there and make that relationship and build that bond with the guy to when the light does go on with him. Like JR says, I want to be plan B.
It's exactly it. Another thing that I'll do is I'll have my business card, and I'll go out there and I hand them my business card. You ask me what I hand them. I hand them my business card, and I may have one of these things. Our services. Well, this one's for buyers. I have one. I have one that says services for sellers. It's a little trifold. It doesn't give away all my secret sauce, but it lets them know I'm not selling the jar. I'm selling the juice. Okay. I am the juice. Here's the jar. You're not buying this, you're buying this. And so here's the jar, I'm the juice. Here's a little bit of stuff in here's this, and here's my business card. And on my way out, I'll say, "Oh, Jim, do you have that trifold? I think we left it in the kitchen."
Yes.
Can we go back there for a second? So I'll go back into the kitchen, okay? And by this time, I'm pulling my pin out. I go, can I have that back, please? See, I'm doing two things. One, I'm reminding them that they're telling me, hey, I know where it's at now. Okay. So yeah, that's right. It was back in, yeah, let's go grab that. I want to show you something about that. And then I'll say, can I have that back for a second? So they're holding it, they're picking it up. I go, can I have that back for a second? And they're like, what the, sort of like what you're thinking about. So I'll grab it and I'm going to say, okay. And I turn around and this is me. Okay. I turn around and I go, I'm going to write something on here, Jim. Then I'm going to turn it over on the table. And then if you turn it over, it could absolutely change everything and your perspective about what you're doing here. So I'm going to put something on here and I will this. My back is turned to them. I'm like,
Sorry, that was a
Okay.
phone call. My referral called me and wants to look at one of the houses that I sent them.
okay. And so then I'll turn around, and after I have this, and I'll turn around, I'll sort of flash it to them and I'll put it down. And I'll say, if you turn it over, trust me, it could change your life. Talk to you real soon.
Wow.
And what I had written on here is Plan B.
Wow, that's great.
Okay.
But how you do it, that's super.
Yeah, and they turn it over, and I go, you can turn it over anytime. You can turn it over anytime. And I'd make that suggestion to them, just like you say, okay, and say, I want you to open up this hand, select a hand that you want to open up, open up any hand, and you point to the hand, the person will almost automatically open that hand. It's your choice to pick whatever hand you want to open up, and they'll, okay. And so, I'll say, turn, and they'll look at that. I'm like, yes, that's right. This is your Plan B. And I'm going to, that's how I do my follow-up. I'm going to go in there as Plan B. And so all of my correspondence from that portion moving forward is, let me prepare a proposal. It's different than a CMA, a net proceeds, a listing appointment. I just sort of rephrase the language to a business sense. So, Jim, I was out there over the weekend, and you got a great house. Did you sell it over the weekend? This is Tuesday. Did you sell it over the weekend?
No, I actually hadn't. I didn't have any. You were the only one that came to my open house.
Freaking amazing. That is sad. Somebody's missing out on a freaking really nice home. Interestingly, over the weekend here in Snohomish County, there were 143 homes that sold over the weekend, over the last 7 days, as a matter of fact. So I don't think it's the house. I think it's exposure for you, particularly. And if we could build in there, I think I might be able to do this. And I haven't done my full report yet, but I'm super excited about your house. It's the type of product that I can get super excited about. And I don't normally get super excited about all the homes that I visit, but this one has stood out. What I'd like to do, with your permission, is put together a proposal. It's a Plan B proposal. It'll include all my pricing, my marketing, and the commissions, and a price. If it matches up and pairs with what it is that you want, we can get it. then we'll move forward and see what that agreement looks like. If it doesn't, then you're no further down the road than you are right now. I will say this, about 72% of the time, I'm hired, okay? The other 28% of the time, it doesn't work out. So I'm okay with either direction.
Fair enough. Give it a whirl. Let me know.
I'll start putting the proposal together. And what are you doing Thursday at 4?
Meeting you.
Perfect. That's how it is.
I like it. And then you don't necessarily have to have the plan B on a brochure. I could just use my business card even.
That's it.
I like it.
And I'm not saying they suck. I'm not telling you can't do it. And if I need to go even further with plan B, they're like, I don't need a plan B. Well, no one does. No one ever thinks about having to use a plan B, Jim.
Exactly.
No one does. But, hey, when I looked at your property, you had a really nice garage and you had that Mercedes Benz inside the garage. You kept the Buick in the driveway, but the Mercedes was in the garage. Okay, I get it. That's probably your wife's car, isn't it? Okay. So that Mercedes is probably rarely ever going to have a flat tire. But yet it carries a spare, doesn't it? That's a plan B.
Understood.
That's where I'm at for you.
Okay.
And so if they resist the plan B for the proposal, they're just not ready yet. They haven't experienced enough pain in their world because they're still puffed up with full of belief, full of energy, full of vigor. I'm going to sell this house myself. I don't need no stinking realtor. And by the time they get beat up, worn out, and they have open houses that no one's showing up to, they're getting calls from scammers that just want to rent to own, or owner finance, or fake buyers, or whatever, real estate brokers who are just rude and abusive, telling them that they're idiots, they can't do it. Whatever the case may be, you show up and you set yourself apart from that person by identifying what it is they want, and you're calm, you're energetic, you show interest, that you're not going to try to push them, allow them to fail. Okay. You have to allow them to fail so they can feel the pain. And once they feel that pain, 92% of the for sale by owners do list their home. About 5% to 6% sell, and the others decide not to do anything.
Wow.
It's a really high percentage. They all list.
Yeah, it is.
Most of them will all list. And when I figured that out in my career, and all I needed to do, because all of us are much more powerful in person than we are over the phone. I just wanted to get inside the door. And once I got inside the door, I owned it. So.
Who's going to be calling a for sale by owner between now and next Tuesday?
We all should go out and see a few. If you're not doing an open house over the weekend, you should be touring cold door for sale by owners. If you really want to get a true test of your skills, cold door a for sale by owner. Don't even bother calling them, just show up.
I just got a phone call from my referral from my buyer. I'd sent him a couple of houses, and he found one that he likes, and he wants to go look at one right now.
See you later, Doug.